Society will shortly be presenting their one-act play season at the Dolman Theatre. Today, we are meeting the writers behind the winning plays to be staged in the theatre for 2 weeks this spring.
I'm Adele Cordner and I've written a one-act play called The Balloon Girls. I was researching the role of women in World War II, and I was particularly interested in the role that they played in operating barrage balloons. I was very fortunate that I managed to get in touch with the Barrage Balloon Association, and they were able to give me some help and advice, which was fantastic. It really helped. During my research, I discovered this event, a true event that happened in Newport in September 1940. There were 2 barrage balloons, in fact, one over Tredegar Park and one over Bellevue Park. They captured a German fighter plane as it was actually returning from bombing in Ellesmere Port. It got caught up in the cables, firstly of the one in Tredegar Park, and then secondly the one over Bellevue Park. And the balloon squadron was very excited, thinking that they might have captured prisoners of war, and they were following it across the park thinking it would land, but tragically it carried on and crashed into a house in Stowe Park Avenue. A really tragic event because it resulted in the loss of 2 teenage children, Malcolm and Myrtle Phillips, and also 3 of the German airmen.
What if there's something? Oh my God, it's a bomber! Get down! Frankie is causing the cable of network! It's heading for us, the cables!
Leave it! Remember the training! Let it go! Lie down!
It's caught
Do as I say!
It's caught to my cable, it's spinning!
The bomb's gone off! A hit, Betty! We have a hit on our balloon our first night and we did it!
It's on fire! It's coming down the circles! Losing power, it's coming down!
We got ourselves a bomber! We did it, Betty! We blew him up, did it! Let's go and see if we can catch ourselves some Nazis!
Malcolm and Myrtle Phillips, who were the teenage children who very tragically died that night. I decided I wanted to include them in the play and bring them back to life, because I want them to be remembered as they were to teenagers living in Newport. I read that they were well known in the community. Their father ran a tobacconist shop in town, and Malcolm used to ride around the town on his bike with his dog in the front. From the photos I've seen, Myrtle is smiling and she looks like a really lovely, happy girl. So I wanted to bring them back to life and reimagine them as really lively teenagers. I wanted us to remember them that way. I have a character called Harry Wappler, who was actually one of the German airmen who escaped from the plane. He actually was thrown out. He was the pilot. I was fascinated by him when I was doing the research. He actually survived broken bones, was taken to St. Willis Hospital, and incredibly, the parents, the children who were killed, Mr. and Mrs. Phillips, visited him in hospital that very next day and forgave him for the loss of their children, which was absolutely just the most incredible thing that part of this story. I was really, really touched by that. It's just an incredible thing that they did.
The fireman couldn't get in. It's still burning. You should see it up there. It's horrific.
I'm very sorry.
So you should be. Your plane did this.
And your balloon brought us down. Did any of my crew get out alive?
The plane exploded on impact. No survivors.
What do you hope audiences will take away from seeing the production?
I hope that they will have an understanding of the story, and I hope that they'll think more deeply about what it was like to live in Newport in wartime in the 1940s. It was so hard. I don't think I appreciated what local people had gone through. There were so many bombings in Newport which I knew nothing about. I didn't realise it was so strategically important that with the railway and the steel works, that there was so much going on here in Newport, and with the port, of course. And I think, it is hard to imagine the hardships that people lived under. I would like people to commemorate the loss of Malcolm and Myrtle Phillips and the German airmen. I think it's important that we remember people from both sides.